summer travel season can get pricey, believe me, but it doesn't have to be. Thanks to our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jared from ThriftyTraveler.com. Hi, buddy.
Thanks for having me again, Jason.
By the way, audience, keep a clapping. Congratulations, 4 years of Thrifty Traveler. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
It is, let me just start with a compliment. Could you believe when you started it 4 years ago that it would turn into what it is? I mean, you're the go-to. I hear from people all the time, and I sing your praises at McDonald's, DQ, to that woman who kissed me. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been incredible. And I've been on the show for almost 2 years now.
Yes, you have,
and that's been a big part of it as well. So many Jason Show followers.
Yeah, well, I tell everyone about the good deals. Okay, we're going to get to deals in just a little bit. You know that Jared does that. But first, Marriott making some news. What are they doing?
So Airbnb, is kind of changed and revolutionized, disrupted, I guess would be the right word, the whole hotel accommodations, arena. So
similar to how Uber did it for taxis.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So the hotel chains have been like, oh, Airbnb is not that big of a deal, like laws are going to reduce it, but Airbnb is blowing up. I mean, it is one of the most
It's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
No.
So what's happening essentially is the hotels are starting to try to compete, and Marriott is kind of the first one that's been tinkering with it in Europe, and now it's going to roll it out worldwide.
So they're going to do a Marriott version of Airbnb.
We're not 100% sure what it's going to look like yet, but they're definitely dipping their toes in and testing it. So I think you'll see all of the major hotel chains are going to try to offer something.
And Marriott's been busy lately because the Super Bowl, they spent millions of dollars on ads. They recently changed their rewards program, too.
To Bonvoy, yes, which has been, so they merged with Starwood Preferred Guests, which was probably the best hotel rewards program. And now it's Marriott Bonvoy, and it's the largest hotel chain in the world, but there's a lot of controversy in the whole.
It was much better the other way, I will say. I love you, Marriott, but yeah. Okay, so we're going to tackle a myth, too. People, Jared's going to be answering your questions, and one of the questions you get all the time is, when's the best time to buy tickets, and what's the secret to buying best tickets? There's an old wives' tale that says that what? Clearing what? You explain it better than I do.
Yeah, it's going to sound like a nerdy concept, but like people who think they're travel hackers, you clear your cookies, like your browser cookies. So basically what that means is, like, let's say you go to the same Delta's website 3 times, that somehow it's going to raise the price because your browser's tracking that. So that's not true at all. From somebody who looks at hundreds of thousands of fares a year, the one thing, and we tell all of the viewers all the time, use Google Flights to search, book directly through the airline. You don't have to clear your browser history or anything like that. You're always going to get the price directly through Google Flights.
I'm usually like a walking testament for you, and I was even slow as many times as you come on here and say use Google Flights. I was still using Kayak. I will tell you. I know. However, Jared, I recently, the last 3 trips, I have now switched to Google Flights, and I see what you're talking about.
Right.
It is.
You've been converted.
I've been converted. Just the ease and how you can move your calendar around and compare. There's nothing better.
Everybody listening out there, use Google Flights to book your flights. Or go to ThriftyTraveler.com, of course.
Do that, Okay, this was the trip that I booked. I was booking Hawaii, and there's big news, exciting news for all of us who live in the Twin Cities going to Hawaii.
Yeah, so Southwest is now officially flying to Hawaii. Wonderful, wonderful. Competition is always, no matter who's flying where, it's always a good thing. So there's not nonstop flights from MSP, but you do connect through California. But when they announced it...
Who cares? That's easy,
It is. It's one quick, easy connection. And they had flights back in March when they first announced it. You could fly from Minneapolis round trip to Honolulu for $260.
Yeah. So, can you believe? Yeah. A woman in the second row almost fainted. I know. Yeah.
Lost her.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. And I got to. And are you finding, this is off a similar question? Are you finding that rates are still low in Hawaii? We just booked. I was shocked at the low rates right now. Is it still the residue from the bad publicity with the volcano, or what is it?
So a lot of it had to do with that, but also there's just so much more competition. It's pretty fierce, I'm going to be honest with you, which is great for the consumer, and you can rarely say that with the airline industry.
Yeah.
So prices, they do keep popping down. You don't get MSP fares all the time for, $260, but we got our eye on it, and, you can find them, $350 to $450, which normally it's like $800. So
if y'all want to go to Hawaii, I'm not joking, do it. I'll tell you about how I booked mine later. Okay, let's do some deals.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do we have?
All right, so we got some amazing domestic and international deals. I'll just kind of rifle them off. So New York, this fall for $176 round trip nonstop on Delta. Not bad. This is one, I think, we've talked about this route to Chicago so many times. It's been so expensive.
So expensive for Chicago.
Right now, you can fly into Midway Airport, Chicago, so that's right by downtown for $106 on Delta nonstop
Thank
round
goodness.
trip. It used to be $300.
And that flight, I call it the up, eat a peanut, and land flight. I mean, there's no reason that I know it's the business thing, but I've paid like $300-400 to fly. I could get there on a bird, you know, anyway, what's next?
But it's gotten so much cheaper, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
So, and again, you can find these deals at thriftytraveler.com or use Google Flights to find them. Las Vegas for $142 this fall, Phoenix through December, $146, Orlando, your favorite, $133. If you want to do some European travel, London for $594 this fall and winter.
Oh, that's
and
really
Dublin,
cheap.
the new nonstop route on Aer Lingus that starts in July, starting in November, $595 nonstop round trip to Dublin. I'm personally very, very excited for that route. It's going to be great. Medtronic, actually, the local company, you know, was the one who, they were like, they have a corporate center there. They're like, we need this route, make it happen. And I'm just like, yeah,
thank you, Medtronic.
Thank you, Medtronic.
Thank you. Jared's answering your travel questions when we come back. Back after this. Thank you, Medtronic. Yeah. Really? Is that... Welcome back, everybody. Jared's here from Thrifty Traveler. Find Thrifty Traveler all over the place. We were taking questions in the audience. Good general advice that you just gave that very nice lady of, like, if you see, well, you can say it, if you see a flight that's good,
book it as soon as possible, because flight pricing is incredibly variable, and sometimes you'll be like, I need to talk to my son or daughter or spouse to make sure they want to go. Just book it. You can always cancel a flight that's booked directly with the airline. As long as it touches U.S. soil, you can cancel it within 24 hours.
Did you guys know that?
Yeah, it's a federal law. So, yeah. always.
If it touches U.S. soil. Yep. So every time Jared's on, we let all of you watching ask him some travel questions. And our executive producer says this all the time. Y'all have really good questions, so thank you. First up, Jenny asks, when traveling to Las Vegas, is it better to book air hotel as a package or separately? Good question, Jenny.
Yeah, and it is a great question, especially for Vegas, because a lot of times packages are actually a better deal because they have some kind of, the hotel wants, the casino essentially wants you to spend money there.
Yeah.
So you can find incredibly discounted rates. But still compare what it would cost separately, the hotel and the airfare, to the package. Do a little bit of legwork, because you can save yourself a lot of money by doing that simple comparison.
Because I've been with you long enough, this is a general rule and every situation is different. Generally, you don't always recommend packages. Am I right on that?
No. If it's an all-inclusive Mexico package or a Hawaii package or a Vegas package, there's no one rule that's like it's always better one way or the other, so always compare.
Next, Beth. Hi, Beth. I'm planning a family vacation to Disney at the end of December for 9 people. Hey, girl, I'll see you there. When should I buy flight tickets? This is a great question.
Yes, it is a great question. So specifically for late December travel, that can get incredibly expensive. But if that's when you have to go, set up one of those Google Flights price alerts. So again, go to Google Flights, and you can always go to Thrifty Traveler, and we have tons of articles. Just search on thriftytraveler.com, Google Flights price alert. We set these price alerts and monitor it. And I always avoid booking within 2 months of when you're going to depart. So definitely book, in October, by October. But, wait for prices to drop below $250 and then, pull the trigger.
And I'll add my own thing. Make sure you download that My Disney Experience app, especially if you have 9 people, and start planning ahead. I will add that. Many people had questions about car rentals. Nancy asks, what is the best way to rent a car, and how far in advance of a trip should you reserve the vehicle?
Okay, so we have a great article at thriftytraveler.com. It's how to book the cheapest rental car possible. So the important thing is comparing prices, because you can actually book the day before you go somewhere to get a rental. It's super easy generally, but using Priceline, Kayak, comparing those. And then once you actually book and you get that reservation number, there's a website called AutoSlash, and it'll actually monitor your rental pricing, and if it drops, it'll rebook you, and you'll get refunded the money.
Oh, nice.
Yes, autoslash.com.
And don't do what I did. I'm a procrastinator, and I procrastinated going to, whatever, Jared, you're laughing. I procrastinated. I went to Chicago, and I was like, I'll just rent a car when I got there. They had no cars.
Yeah.
I literally rode a burro. They said, there's a burro right there, and that's about what I got. Sabrina's daughter and classmates are going to Europe this summer. She asks, what are the safest and easiest ways for them to handle money and exchange rates in Dublin, London, and Paris?
Okay, so
Good question.
It sounds like, so there's two options. You can order, British pounds and euro currency, at your local bank. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. If you really want to do it right, and I don't get paid to say this, there's a Charles Schwab checking account that refunds all ATM fees worldwide. No matter if you're like at the airport in Dublin and you swipe your debit card at the ATM, it'll refund even if it's like $20. And there's no fees, there's no nothing. Go to thriftytraveler.com, type in Charles Schwab debit card. Everybody on the Thrifty Traveler team carries it. It refunds domestic, like anywhere in the U.S., ATM fees, or anywhere abroad. It's crazy.
That is, look at, thank you, Charles Schwab.
Yeah.
Diane asks, we're going to Cancun and there's an all-inclusive package available. Is all-inclusive a better deal than just paying throughout the day for a family of 5 to eat and drink?
All right, Diane, that's a great question. So I also love going to, Mexico to all-inclusives. I'd say, again, you're going to want to compare, but I say go the all-inclusive route if you can.
Yeah.
There's a really cool deal with Hyatt. If you have, if you can collect some points and miles by opening a couple credit cards. They have the Hyatt Ziva and Zalera hotels in Cancun. They're amazing. They're one of the top 5 in Cancun, and you can book them with points, and they're all-inclusive.
Yeah.
So you think about, you're going to, travel to Mexico, and you're going to be able to stay and eat and drink for free on points. That's cheaper than staying at home.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we got to go. I always put a button on our conversations with Jared by saying I listen to his tips on strategically what you heard him mention, opening a credit card to get points. I was like, I did that. I was very strategic based on what Jared told me. I opened 2, and I got to tell you, I still get points, and I get a lot of good deals. I'm flying to Hawaii, and all on points. I did not pay for a single flight to Hawaii coming up this July. Yeah, all on tips from Jared. Jared from Thrifty Traveler, everybody. For all the deals and travel news, check out thriftytraveler.com.